Hey everybody, so Jon David had a pretty good night last night. He was supposed to have a 1 hour hold with me, but ended up with a 4 hour hold and did not take his ERT. He was supposed to have an ERT, but because there was an emergency on the unit, I ended up holding him from, instead of 2 to 3 a.m., I held him from 2 to 6 a.m. And so that was fun. He tolerated it well. I had planned on doing a shorter one just because he doesn't necessarily have the reserve or the strength to be held for a very long time right now, but he did it. So we enjoyed the snuggles. We didn't complain. So that was good. And then today he had a lot happen, but not like a crazy busy day. It was just a lot of different orders got done. So for example, his epinephrine got lowered from 0.04 to 0.03, which is one of the things that helps his heart squeeze and also increases his blood pressure. And his blood pressure was getting a little bit higher, so that came down. And the reason why the blood pressure was getting higher is because they discontinued his diureal, which is a diuretic which makes him pee. And so as you're peeing off the fluid, your blood pressure will come down a little bit. And since he wasn't getting that anymore, his blood pressure was kind of rising. So kind of had to do like this balancing game with the blood pressure. And then with that, they also had to use a drug called Nicard to help balance the blood pressure because it helps lower it. And so they kind of use that in lieu of the diuretics because the Nicard doesn't make them pee. It just helps lower the blood pressure and get it in the range they wanted to have it. Because if it's too high, it's too bad. And if it's too low, it's definitely bad. And then he had his antibiotics discontinued. He finished the treatment on them. And he had a blood transfusion because he was desaturating a little bit. And because his H&H, his hematocrit, and hemoglobin were a little bit low. And so they gave him the blood transfusion to kind of replace that. And then he had a poop. So we had a moderate sized poop, but he does need to poop some more. He's still full of poop. And so he needs to continue. The wound specialist also came by, and his forearms, the perfusion injuries there, are progressing. They're looking better. And he had a pressure wound on his back that is pretty much completely healed at this point, as well as the PICC line in his right leg. That spot is completely healed. So he actually got a couple bandages removed today. So those wounds are done. These right here are still the two really big ones, and they are still healing. He restarted his feeds at 4 mLs today and has tolerated them well. And he actually increased to 6 mLs, and that's what he's on right now. So he's been having constant feeds throughout the day, which again is a good thing because it means he's getting nourishment, he's getting stronger. He's getting to the point where he, even in his sleep, is kind of swiping for the mobile, so his muscles are getting stronger. He's moving along, which makes us all happy. He also had to have his ventilator tube retaped today. They did an x-ray and saw that it was sitting a little too deep, so then they moved it about a 0.5 centimeter up. Now, all of that to say, he had a busy technical day. A lot of people in and out of the room, but for the most part, Jon David just kind of chilled out and played with his mobile and ate his breast milk through a straw in his nose. So that is pretty much his day. Hunter, on the other hand, spent time with his friends, with Nana and Grampy, and went fishing with Mimi, and then also went toad hunting with Mama Kay again, because this is a nightly tradition now. And if y'all would pray for these 3 things: 1, for his lungs. He has an ERT tonight, and we'll see how that goes. 2, for his kidneys and for his poops, because we need him to continue peeing well and to pooping, so that way he can keep eating. And then for all of the kiddos and families who are battling CHD, because then again, this is an incredibly tough journey for every family that's up here. But hope y'all continue to choose hope daily. Hope you have a good night and God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.
We eat bullfrogs?
And I take these to catch bullfrogs.
And Jon David, tell everybody bye-bye.